take my advice and take this formula and learn and practice and train your golf swing with this ideal formula. And you'll for the rest of your life, if you get these right, you'll never have a problem ever again. And if you do, it's easy to solve right there in this formula. Hey, it's Todd Graves. Welcome to tonight's program. I'm excited to be here with you to share with you a couple of the things, the two main things that Mo Norman helped me understand that I know when I teach you these things will transform the way you play golf and help you save your back, play better golf, and have more fun playing the game if you learn these two things. I've been fortunate in the last 20 years to teach over 1 million people through our programs the single plane swing, and we're helping people not only have more fun playing the golf, we're saving people's backs, we're showing them how to have a better golf swing and an easier golf swing and have more fun playing the game. Today I want to share with you the two things that I know that will transform you into a better golfer, and I'm going to show you things that you may never have heard of before when it comes to the golf swing and how I can help you get better. Now, a couple things I want you to understand about what I'm going to present to you tonight. The first thing is common sense. The things I show you are common sense. They're going to be simple. It's not complicated. I'm going to show you things that you're going to say, hey, why doesn't everybody do it this way? That's one of my goals tonight, is to simplify this for you and make it less complicated. I'm not going to get into crazy detail. Everything I teach you, you're going to say, Todd, that makes perfect sense. And that's my goal tonight, is to make sure everything I show you is something you can apply and it's common sense to you. So let's kind of get into it. The first thing you have to understand about becoming a better golfer is I want to show you what the single plane swing, the number one thing is going to do for you and how it helps you and how it simplifies your golf game. So the first thing Mo Norman taught me was the single plane swing. Now let's talk about that, because a lot of people don't really understand the single plane swing and what it is and how it simplifies the golf game. What I want you to understand about the single plane swing is this: the most important moment of a golf swing is the moment of impact, right? Where the club gets to at impact. So if I kind of demonstrate this for you, and I show you, and you guys have probably, if you've watched some of my videos, have seen this, you see me go to this moment of impact. But I want you to look at me in this view for a second. You notice how the body has some tilt to it. You notice the arm positions in line. So this is the position that everybody's shooting for to become a great ball striker. And the reason Mo Norman was the best ball striker in the world is because he could consistently repeat impact more consistently than any other golfer that's ever lived. So you have to ask the question, how did he do that? Well, he did it through the single plane swing. The single plane swing basically does something, again, very common sense. I'm going to turn down the line so you can see. What's common sense is this. If this is the moment of impact, you'll notice how the club is aligned with my trail arm, and look at the position of my body. Now, if I set up, I start, and then impact on the exact same plane, I'm almost in the exact same position at address as I am impact, I can reduce all the variables of all the problems with a conventional golf swing. So what Mo figured out was, instead of standing like a conventional golfer where you might hang your arms below the shoulders and put your body into this position, instead of doing all this, which complicates the golf swing, puts a lot of stress on the back, and you guys have probably learned the conventional golf swing, maybe you've taken some lessons before, and you learned this conventional setup. Well, this is why you've had so much difficulty with golf, because this is a very complicated way to get back to this moment of impact where you need tilt and the club is lifted and your body has to lift. So the conventional golf swing is very complicated. What Mo figured out was, if this is impact right here, if this is impact, why not start on the same plane as impact? That's the single plane swing. We start and impact on the same exact plane. So that was the first thing that Mo demonstrated to me, was the methodology of a single plane swing. Now, I'm going to show you a lot about the single plane swing tonight, but it doesn't do me any good to teach you about the single plane swing unless I show you the second most important thing, which is the process of learning it, right? What's the process of learning it? So let me kind of walk you through this. So let me kind of make a prediction here of how you learn to play the game of golf. I'm going to basically say that when you first started playing, and maybe it was 20 years ago, maybe it was last year, maybe it was 30 years ago, you grabbed a golf club and you ran out to someplace, maybe the golf course with your friends, or you ran to the driving range or wherever it was, and you started swinging away, right? You started swinging away. Well, I'm going to show you the exact process and how you probably learn golf backwards. Watch this. So the very first thing that, if I was going to help you learn the simple single plane swing that Mo Norman taught me that basically transformed my game, the first thing I'm going to teach you is address and grip. Now, when you, maybe you have taken lessons before and maybe you have tried to pay for instruction or maybe searched YouTube or whatever, they probably taught you grip first. But I want you to look at what I wrote down here. Address and grip, right? And that order is very important because I believe that if you've learned grip first, that may be one of the problems you're having with the swing. Because watch this. Remember what I said earlier about the most important moment for you is the moment of impact. If I can help you, and this is why I've helped millions of golfers around the world, because if I can help you get to impact, I can help you hit a golf ball better. So shouldn't everything I teach you be related to helping you get to impact, right? So if everything I want to teach you tonight and I show you about the single plane swing is going to say, everything I do is going to help you get to impact. So the reason I said address and grip and not grip and address is because I want you to position your body in the correct position before you place your hands on the club because you want your hands related to body position. In other words, I want to be in my impact tilt and then put my hands on the club because it orients my hands perfectly for me to get to the moment of impact. And the reason this is so important is because if you grab the club, if you just grab the golf club and you don't have the proper orientation of the body, your body position has to fight rotations of where your hands are placed on the club. So it's just common sense to put your body really close to its impact position. Then look at my straight line I have here with my arm. That's the same straight line I'll have at impact. Look at my address tilt here. Look at the alignment with my trail arm. That's the same alignment I'm going to have at impact. So I want you to address the golf ball and then grip the club to get your orientation correctly because I want to help you get to impact. So there's number one. Now, let's go to the second thing. So now I've taught you the address and grip, single plane address and grip. The second thing is positions. The positions of the golf swing. I want to go through the positions of the swing with you and show you that the next thing about this process is to teach you the positions, and every position I show you is to what? Help you get to the moment of impact. So there's no position I'm going to teach you that's not helping you deliver the club into that most important moment. So again, I go to my address position, and then I have my hand position, address and grip. Notice the tilt of my body. Notice the alignment of my arm. That's going to be the same alignments at impact. So you see my position. Now, I'm going to basically take this position and just turn it away to position 1. I'm going to go to top position 2 to leverage the club for speed. I'm going to stabilize the body. That's transition. Here's position 3. Here's impact position 4. Extension position 5. And then finish position 6. Now I'm going to do that down the line. And I want you to watch this because these positions are positions that are put in the club onto plane. Why is plane important? Because plane is the same angle as impact. So I'm moving the club on a single plane to help you get to impact. So again, let me put you at address. So I got my address on the impact plane, the single plane. So there's the address. I go to position 1. Look at this. As I go back, look at position 2. That plane of that club should match the same plane that I started. So there's position 2. Transition to position 3. Again, impact on the same plane. Extension, that's actually on the same plane as well. And look at this, finish. Look at the club. It's on the same plane as the impact plane. So every position I teach you is what? To get the club on the impact plane throughout the swing motion, okay? So there's positions. So I would teach you what I have is 6 positions, 1 through 6. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, and I want you to really pay attention to this stuff tonight because of all the things that I teach, what I'm going to teach you right now about how the body moves, because right now, if you have the address and grip correct, and you have the positions correct, I need to put you into motion. I need to get you to sequence the swing. So we got to sequence the swing. Now, sequencing the swing is nothing more than moving through the positions without stopping, right? Moving through positions. But sequence then will lead to what? Speed. So I want to get you not only in the correct positions, getting to impact correctly, but I want to add speed. But there's something I must do before I start putting you into sequence and producing speed, and it's what I call the braking system. The braking system. What is the braking system? It's really, this is probably, I would have to say that in the last couple of years when I've been teaching people about how important the braking system is to the golf swing, it has probably been the most transformative part of my instruction, because when the light bulb goes off from learning about what's happening in the braking system, people start understanding the swing so much better and getting to impact so much easier. The braking system is this. Most people see the golf swing as a motion, you know, backswing, downswing. But you cannot produce motion if you don't have the body stable. One side has to stabilize as another side starts moving. And the question I can answer for you, because a lot of people ask this question, is the swing, you know, is it left-sided, is it right-sided? And the answer is it's both-sided. However, it's when the body stops versus when the body can move quickly. So let me just give you an example of the braking system. The braking system in the golf swing is this. You'll notice that if I go from my address position and I go into the backswing, you notice that as I move into the backswing and I'm working against my trail leg here, that the trail leg has to be stable, stopped, in order to rotate around it. See, I can't be moving my leg and move around it. I have to stop my leg and then rotate around it, right? So this is put on the brakes as this side rotates, okay? So one side is stopping as one side is going, right? So that's an example of the backswing, the braking system here. Now, downswing gets pretty interesting because now I'm gonna go into my lead side, right? So now the brakes, I put the brakes on here, so when I come down, this side of my body can rotate and accelerate. So you see what's happening is one side has to stop so another side can accelerate. And so look what's happening upper body. The tilt of my body, when I come down, do you see how I'm tilted? Well, my body is actually stopping so my arms can then accelerate. So you're seeing parts of the body are stopping one side as the other side can accelerate. This is what I call the braking system. And the body cannot accelerate and move appropriately and quickly without having stability, the brakes, so you can accelerate. So I would teach you how to sequence your swing using the brakes of your body, the braking system. Then I could then accelerate you and add speed, because we all want to hit the ball longer and straighter. And this is my formula for swing success, for helping you learn the swing in a perfect, what I call my progressive formula. Now, here's what's interesting about this formula. Address and grip, get that right. Learn how to hit the positions, because if you can't hit the positions in slow motion, you will not hit them with sequence and speed, not fast motion. So learn the correct positions to help impact, then start putting into sequence, and then start adding some speed to it. But you learn the golf swing like this. This is the way you learned it. You grabbed a club, you started adding speed to it, trying to figure out how to sequence and stop the body, and then maybe later on you're like, I better figure out these positions. So most people have learned golf backwards. You'll notice that my formula here is a perfect order. It's a perfect order for learning in the fastest way possible. Now, what I want you to see in this formula is that this is the formula that I use to help everyone, those millions of golfers that we've taught. This is our progressive formula that trains people in the perfect way. But this is not unique to me. This is the exact same formula you'd use if I wanted to teach you how to dance, right? I'd teach you the positions of the dance. I'd teach you how to put the dance steps together, and then once you add speed, you have a dance. In other words, you have to learn things in the correct order to learn them correctly. This is exactly the way I would help you learn to play piano. If I knew how to play piano, I could teach you that. I would teach you where the notes are. I would teach you where the chords are. Then I would add some sequence to your hands, and then you could add speed, then you're playing music. You see, this is a formula for perfect learning. And this is what we apply to you learning the single plane swing. Now, there's one thing that I left off of here is repetition. So all you have to do now is repeat this process, and this formula will teach you the perfect single plane swing. But I want to show you something that's really interesting about this formula here. And this is the formula that I teach. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner. It doesn't matter if you're an advanced player. It doesn't matter if I've known you for 10 years and you're really efficient with your swing. This is what I use for myself when I'm practicing and I want to work on my golf swing or get a little better or improve, or if I'm having a problem, I can find it right here, because here's what I do. Let's say I go out and I'm having a little bit of trouble with my swing. Let's say I'm hitting the ball left or somewhere. First thing I do is I go check my address and grip, right? I test myself. Test number one, address and grip, okay? If this is good, check. Then I check my positions. Position 1, position 2, position 3. And I might find the problem. It could be, let's say it's position 2. There you go. Now I practice the correct position 2, and I'm back on track. This is the formula for not only building your swing, fixing your swing, and maintaining your swing for the rest of your life. You don't have to do anything else except right here. And you'll notice, I am not a quick fix guy. I don't think you can quick fix people. And you can ask yourself, have you ever actually benefited from a quick fix out there? And what happens is you look at things like YouTube channel and you start looking for secrets and stuff like that. And by the way, I even say that my YouTube channel is not a great place to learn the golf swing. It's not, because you're not learning it in the proper order. You may watch me do a video on lower body motion, but you haven't learned the address and grip yet. The most efficient, fastest way for you to improve is to take my advice and take this formula and learn and practice and train your golf swing with this ideal formula. And you will for the rest of your life, if you get these right, you will never have a problem ever again. And if you do, it's easy to solve right there in this formula. Now, the two things that I've expressed to you tonight about how I can transform your game are, number one, an easier golf swing, the single plane swing. So if you will spend the time to learn the single plane swing, and I showed you the formula for learning it, let me walk you through the position to the single plane swing again, just so you understand that these positions are they're important and they're very simple to learn. And I just want you to see the positions that only things you have to learn these positions. So again, address and grip, right? So learning the proper position of the body. Everything relates to getting back to impact. I'm going to go to position 1. And this is basically just taking the address position and turning the body. Notice my head stays still. It's also a stabilizing portion of the swing. Going to the top, position 2, right? So there's my leverage. Look, I'm braced against the trail leg. Now I'm going to transition. I'm going to go to position 3, right? So this is a good checkpoint for position 3. Go to impact. Look at the tilt of my body. Look at the realignment of the arm, position 4. Look at the extension, position 5. Look at my lead leg. It's still stable, right? Position 5. And then position 6. Look at my position of my body. I'm basically going towards the target. Look at my trail foot's on the ground. It's part of the stabilization. That's how I get consistency into impact, because we all want to be more consistent. And I can deliver with those positions of the single plane swing. I can create speed and deliver this club back to impact every single time the same way consistently. This is the goal here. Taking the positions you learn, producing a leverage angle, stabilizing with the brakes, and getting to impact over and over and over, right there. Doing reps on that. That will make you a great ball striker, if you can learn to do that. But I'll tell you this, what I just did right there, demonstrating to you the positions of the swing and my ability to repeat getting to impact, that's what you have to learn to do. Because if you can learn to do that, then you can get that club with speed to that golf ball consistently. Now here's the thing about what I'm teaching you here is I've been doing this now for over 20 years. I've had a best-selling video out there. We've sold millions of copies of a single plane solution video. And it was probably about 7 months ago, my team came to me and they said, Todd, listen, we have the simplest swing in golf. right, to learn. We've taught millions of people this swing. We have a perfect training formula to learn it. Todd, what can we do? How long will it take if somebody wanted to dig in and learn the single plane swing? And look, I'm a realistic guy. To teach you this stuff, I can't do it in 1 day. Can't do it in 2 days. Can't do it in 3 days. I said, what is a perfect formula? And I said, you know, I can do it in 30 days. I think anybody can dedicate 30 days to a perfect learning process. So what I did is I sat down, I said, okay, and my team said, Todd, we're tasking you with putting together a training program that teaches the swing perfectly over 30 days. And I put together what I call Single Plane 30. And what Single Plane 30 is, it's not only this program, it's how I deliver the program to you. So every week, here's what we do. Week 1, guess what we do? Week 1, we work on address and grip. Right? There's week 1. Build the foundation of the address and grip. Okay? And so what happens is every day, I'm delivering you a module that teaches you the things you need to know about mastering address and grip. Guess what we do in week 2? Start working through the positions of the swing. Right? Key positioning. And then we get into the braking system and start sequencing in week 3. We start blending the positions together. And look what's happening. This is a perfect progressive formula for you to get this right. Because that's one of the problems we have. If you don't do it the correct way, you don't know if you're getting it right. This is a perfect way for you to train correctly. A question I get as a coach, they said, Todd, how do I practice perfectly? This is how you do it. I deliver to you what you need to practice, and you practice perfectly every single day. And then the last week, once you apply the brakes, I can start adding speed. We start blending the positions together, making it dynamic, and adding speed to the program. So this is my Single Plane 30 progressive training formula. And I got to tell you something. And this is just, it was surprising to me. When I put this program together 7 months ago, I knew it was a great program. I knew how good it was. I didn't realize how successful and how many great results I was going to get from the program until the students started going through it. I think we've had over 1,000 people go through the program to this point, and I keep hearing every single day, shooting the lowest rounds scores of their life, hitting the golf ball better than they've ever hit it before, having more fun and success, saving their back. But what people really love about it is how you can learn this from your own home. You don't have to go to a golf course to learn Single Plane 30. You can do it in the privacy of your own home, because this training is something you can do for 20 minutes every day. So what I did is you get a daily training module. Every day I deliver to you a daily training module, and it looks like this. You see, it's a video, and it has your training regimen, how many reps I want you to do, and how to learn and feel the thing you're working on. So in this is learn and feel position 0, which is the address position. So imagine you wake up every day, and boom, there's your training for the day. Now you can do it multiple times if you want, but my recommendation is you do the training at least once a day, and you get to deliver the training in the morning. And I'm keeping you accountable that every single day you're doing the proper training, and I'm progressing you through my formula here to learn a perfect single plane swing, right? Now, the other thing that I want to throw at you is I want to support you in this program. So inside the academy, when you're inside Single Plane 30, I give you some coaching support. So once a week, we get on a Zoom call, you can ask questions, and we go through the training for the week. So we do live Q&A sessions with the coaches with you, and I'm involved in most of those inside Single Plane 30. And if you look in here, I'm going to show you this. This is our Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner is where our students, you can see a few students in there, are asking questions about the program. So I want to make sure that as you progress through the training, that we're supporting you all the way through the training, making sure you're doing it correctly, getting it right, and that if you have any questions, we're there to answer those for you. Now, here's the program, and here's what's so great about the program. The total package, the 30-day program, is about a $649 value. The daily accountability is a $349 value. The live coaching support, which is working with our coaches, is basically a $1,000 value. The total value of this program is about $2,000, but I've got the price down to $297. That's what it costs to join Single Plane 30. And what happens though, let me tell you how this works. we don't start the program until the beginning of the month, right? So in the beginning of September, the first Monday of September, the program starts. And what happens is, and the reason I like to do it this way is because everybody is going through the program at the same pace. So when I'm with you, coaching you through the program, you're all learning the same things, so we're all on the same page as we go through it. If somebody asks a question about something in the program, it's going to relate to you because you're going through the same exact thing. The Zoom sessions generally have between 50 and 80 people in each Zoom session, and when people ask a question, it's relevant to what you're experiencing through the program. That's why I like to keep the program, everybody moving through the same pace. That's what's beautiful about Single Plane 30. But I also want to throw one more thing in for you. You're going to want to take this to the course after 30 days. So I'm going to throw in my Take It to the Course Masterclass. This basically is a $495 value. This is where you take what you've learned in Single Plane 30 to the course. Here's a couple things that you go through in this masterclass, because this is the questions that people have. How do you take it to the course? Well, I got to give you a routine that takes what you've learned before. So I give you a pre-round routine. I give you a pre-shot routine that helps you take the things you've learned in Single Plane 30 into your execution of a golf shot. I tell you what to do in between shots, and I teach you what to do post-round. I'm teaching you 4 really important routines to take your new single plane swing to the golf course, right? So I wouldn't want you to just learn the swing and not know how to take it to the golf course. So now I'm going to give you that $495 value. And the other thing I want to give you in this program is, I think, this is me as a coach, and this is me just speaking to you heart to heart. I think one of the problems that people have when they try to improve in golf is they don't have a strategy. They don't have a game plan. They just kind of randomly go about it. I'm giving you a perfect strategy here, but I also want to give you a call with one of our coaches so he can lay out your plan for you. I think if you have a nice, clear, defined plan and you execute with this program, it accelerates your learning process. So I want to give you our personalized blueprint call where we define your goals, organize your strategy, and build a step-by-step plan for you to implement this and take your game to levels that you've never imagined before. That's what this program is designed to do. That is my Single Plane 30 program. Now, let me go through a couple more things, and as I do this, here's the thing. If you have some questions about the single plane swing, if you have questions about the program, hop on the chat. Are guys in the chat right now? Yep. So hop in the chat. I like to do these programs. I like to do these shows because really I've gone through the content of this just kind of quickly because I really want to get to your questions about the golf swing and the program. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about in the single plane swing was, let's just go through the address, and I want to show you how simple the single plane swing is from what does simple really mean, right? What does simple mean? So watch what happens here. And you guys can kind of play along with me here as I kind of show you the common sense side of this. Now, a quick story before I get into that. Mo Norman, known as the greatest ball striker that's ever played the game, because he could return the club to impact more consistently than any human that's ever lived. And he did that with a simple golf swing. But what I did, after getting to know Mo, spent 10 years learning from him, what I did is I took it to another level because I kept asking a particular question. And it was, how? How is he getting to impact more consistently than any other golfer? And how is that happening? Like, how are things in his body? And what I learned is something that I think that if you understand this, it'll basically clarify what's simple and what we can actually achieve just through the positions of your body. So watch what I'm going to do here. And you guys can do this with me. And what I'm going to demonstrate to you is I can position your body into where you can always square the face perfectly. Here's what I mean by that. So when I'm addressing the golf ball and I'm holding the club with the proper grip, you'll notice that the back of my hand is parallel to the club face, right? So this is aligned with that, right? So you could say the back of the hand squares the face, right? Because if the back of the hand is going to the target, the club face is going to the target. So there's what I like to see in a good address and grip position is the back of the hand lined with the face and make it easy for me to get to impact the target. But what if I showed you that with my system and the positions I put you in my system, that you cannot screw that up. You'll get that perfect every single time. Here's how it happens. And you can do this with me. I can make it so I can put your body in a position to where the only thing that happens to your arm when you go here is the back of the hand goes to the target. In other words, I can position you to where that's all that can occur is a square face. Back and square face. Watch how I do this. If I'm standing straight up, you can see my spine is straight up. That's how much my arm can turn. See that? So I can turn my back of my hand all the way to the ground. And you can do that with me if you want to. You can turn your hand back to the ground. And this, I'm showing you biophysics here. Here's why Mo Norman was so great. He didn't stand straight up. He had tilt, okay? So I have tilt in my body, right? 16 degrees of tilt. Now when I put my arm in front of me, see my shoulder goes forward. See, it's not forward here. I can't get my shoulder forward. But if I tilt, my shoulder gets inflection. Watch. It's hard to put my shoulder forward, but when I tilt, look at my shoulder. It goes into flexion. It goes in front of my body. When my arm is in flexion, it puts this upper arm, it rotated this way. So in other words, this arm is rotated this way now. See, it's rotated. You can see my arm here. See, when I put it in flexion, you can't see that part of my arm. So my arm has been rotated internally. But watch this. Now, with my arm internal, and you just hold your arm like this. Just hold it there. Now, without rotating your arm, only turn your forearm and watch what happens. The only place you can go is the back of the hand to the target. So when you're tilted and your arm's in front, your forearm can only go to the target. See that? That's the max, what we call max range. That's the max rotation of my hand. In other words, I can only square a face with that. Now you're probably saying, okay, Todd, what is this? How is this relevant? Watch the swing. So I set up in that exact thing I told you, where my arm is in front of my body, in flexion. Look what happens in the backswing. My arm does this. It gets turned this way. When I come down, look what happens. The only place my forearm can go is square the face. See that? Square the face. Because of my tilt and the position of my body. It's all because of positions. If I position my body correctly, the only thing that can happen is square face. I can go there every single time. This is exactly why Mo is so great at striking a golf ball. Because of his arm position and his body position, and when he got to impact, it's all that could happen was a square face. Now, I'm just giving you a quick demonstration of how I'm presenting to you how the positions of your body are what create this. But here's the thing. I can do that with your address and grip. I can simplify your address and grip to make your positions, make the golf swing easier. Every position of the swing I can create, I can show you how the body does this, making those positions easier. Then you sequence it, and the only thing that can happen is a square face. This is common sense stuff when you learn these positions of the swing. That's what my single plane 30 program is all about, is teaching you in the correct order, doing it in the exact progression, learning the exact thing you need to learn first, not getting ahead of yourself, not trying to go hit balls really fast if you haven't learned the positions yet. And then you gradually improve each one of those elements, and you get better and better and better, and you build a perfect golf swing with the progressive formula. And it's a perfect golf swing because it's a single plane swing. That's what this is all about. Now, there's something I want to throw in for you. You'll notice that I'm up here demonstrating with training aids. So you see the alignment ball position trainer on the ground, and you see my Feeling of Greatness training club, and I got my single plane trainer. One of the most important things you can do is make sure you're practicing correctly and make sure you're getting feedback in your practice. So when you do reps, you're practicing perfectly. Well, the alignment ball position trainer, as you can see, has where your lead foot position goes, it has where you place the ball, and it has where your trail foot position goes. This will be sitting on the ground to make sure my foot position, my alignment, and my ball position is perfect. Okay, so this is an aid that helps me make sure that when I get in my proper address and grip position, that everything's set up perfectly. The training club, not only does it have a formed grip on it where my hands fit perfectly, that gets my back of the hand perfect and the trail hand perfect. See the paint? You have red paint and white paint. When I set up with this club and I put it on the ground, the white paint goes straight to my toes. This tells me the proper distance from the golf ball. So you're seeing what I'm doing here. I'm giving you some aids here to make sure that when you practice these positions, you're getting them perfectly in position. And then you have the single plane trainer. This is designed to help you learn the perfect positions on planes, that position, then 3, and then impact 4. This helps you learn the plane of the golf swing. That's why it's called the single plane trainer. So these are 3 most critical training aids that I use to help people get reps and practice. But here's what I'm going to do for you tonight. And I'm only doing it for the people tonight. That I'm going to give you these training aids. Here's what I'm going to do. The training aids are normally about $300. They're about close to $100 a piece. Some are a little more than that. So the training aids are about $300. Okay, so that's how much we charge for those training aids. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 150. You got the gift card up there? Is it a gift card? Yep. I'm going to give you a $150 gift card to apply towards the training aids. Okay, so I'm giving you $150. Here's what else I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a discount on the training aids. So the training aids, how much are they? $149. $149? $150. So the training aids are $150. So guess what? I'm going to give you the training aids for free for signing up for the program for $297. All I want you to do is pay shipping on the products. So I'm giving you this program basically for free. And I'm giving you the training aids that you need to use in the program. So for $297, you get everything, this whole package. Let's just go through it. You get single plane 30, which is a $2,000 value. You got to take it to the course masterclass, close to a $500 value. You got the blueprint call, $249 value. You got a 50% discount on the training aids, $171. I'm giving you a gift certificate for $150. So a value of $3,000 for $297. And I'm just doing it tonight, by the way. And how many spots do we have? 50 or something? I think we only had like 50 spots for tonight. 50 spots. So I'm willing to give 50 training aids, 50 training packages away tonight. It's going to go away, but if you want to join the program, so here's the link, gravesgolf.com/enroll. You've seen it on the screen. And what we're going to do here is also, I'm going to drop this in an email to you to sign up. So I'm going to throw this in an email.
In 7 minutes.
Oh, in 7 minutes. We got it timed for you in 7 minutes. So do we have any questions? I'm willing to take a few questions. Yeah, that's a good question. So this question is, what if I can't do the training every single day? Here's the thing about the training. You can catch up with the training. Now, I wouldn't skip more than 2 days or whatever, but they're just 20-minute training sessions, and you can do multiple training sessions every day. What's going to happen is you'll be delivered a training module in the morning, and you'll have all day to do that. If you miss that day, in the program, you can go back to that training module and pick that one up and do that training module and that day. And it's not like you can't. I would just make sure you do them in the proper order. So you can miss a day, but make sure you line them up in the proper order. So these training modules will be available to you. Once you get the training module, it's available to you in the program. So it's not going to go away. But we just make sure you don't get ahead of it. So we keep delivering the modules one at a time, and you can go back and train those modules. A lot of guys do that. A lot of guys will repeat the training module from the previous day, which is fine. It's all good as long as you stay in the progressive order. Here's another question. What am I doing wrong? Solid impact is at driver ball position for all clubs. Hugh, what am I doing wrong? Solid impact is at driver ball position for all clubs. I'm not sure I understand the question, but let me see what that sounds like here. So make sure stance. I think the answer to that question is your stance width. Make sure that if you're using alignment, hope you have alignment ball position trained. If you have this, you got to make sure the iron ball position. I'm using a 6-iron here. You have the iron ball position, the correct position, and your stance width is correct. And what that does, that allows you to have the proper impact position with a 6-iron. If you have a driver, your stance will be wider. Now with the driver, obviously the club will be longer, and the ball position will be more forward. But see, I'm in a driver position here because I'm in a wider stance. I would just make sure your stance width is correct. I think that's where your problem is. So here's another question. How do you make a move to the left side in transition? This is a great question. And this is where the braking system inside single plane 30, and I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to rewrite my formula up here on the screen. Okay, so, and there's a reason I'm doing this. So you got address and grip. You got positions. You have sequence, which includes the brakes. And then you got speed. Every question that you ask me, including that one, can you put that question back up there? Every question that you have here can be answered with my formula, and I'll show you why. How do you make a move to the left side in transition? Well, here's what's interesting about that. This is position 1 through 6. Most people have trouble with transition, moving to their lead side, left side, because they don't get position 2 correct. But they try to get transition correct, but they're out of position in the backswing. So in other words, you're in the backswing, and this is incorrect. If you're incorrect here, you can't transition. So what you do, my formula would solve that. I would have you know how to get to position 1. Let's say you're good. You go to position 2. If position 2 is off, you would find it right there in position 2. You would fix it there, and you'd be able to transition. But you won't be able to fix transition if your position 2 is off. That's why you have to do this in order. So the answer to that is, the solution is you got to fix your backswing. That's why you're having trouble in transition. That's what you got to do with, that's what single plane 30 is all about. It does it in the proper order. I'm not trying to solve your transition problem. I'm trying to find out what's causing it so you can transition. So there's a big difference in that. I'm not quick fixing you. I'm simply getting you to hit the correct position so it's easy to transition. It's a big difference in that. Here's a question. Todd, what is the hardest change for you coming from a conventional swing? Oh, flying camera guy from YouTube. I've been talking to you. What was the hardest thing for me changing for you coming from conventional swing? I mean, I went through the process, right? I mean, here's the problem. I didn't have this process. So my biggest problem was I didn't have a formula or process. I built this based on my learning. I struggled. Like Mo would give me lessons. I would try to figure it out. I would try to fix it. I didn't get my grip right at first. I didn't get address and grip right at first. That caused all the problems. I struggled for 2 years because I didn't get that right. All my struggle came from not having that right. And then I finally figured that out. And so I said, you know, if I would have had this right at first, my address and grip, that would have saved. I hit some bad shots in some tournaments because I was struggling with my address and grip. So I didn't have the proper sequence and order. I had to figure it out for myself. That's why I created this program, because if I can help you speed up your learning process and stop struggling so much, look, if you don't sign up for this program tonight, you're going to go to the range and you're going to try stuff, probably stuff that I told you tonight. But here's my question. Are you getting it right? Are you doing it correctly in the proper order? Are you practicing the right things? See, that's the problem. That was my problem. I never knew if I was practicing correctly, so it took me too much time. I don't want you to take that much time. I've been doing this for 20-something years. I've been helping people do this. This is a perfect formula for doing it. This is helping everybody figure it out. And that's why I built it. I'm not trying to quick fix you. And so I don't want you to go out there and try to quick fix yourself, because you're just going to struggle, and you're going to come back and you're going to wish you signed up. And you're going to waste a month, because if you don't sign up for September, you'll sign up for October. You just wasted a month, right? Why waste a month? And I just want to say this too. We have people in the Single Plane 30 program that are signing up multiple months. You get discounts for doing that, but multiple months. Why? Why are so many people signing up for multiple months? Because it's so perfect of a training program, they want to keep doing it and get better and better and better. They're getting better and better and better and better. And they see the value of having this progression and this perfect training formula. They keep doing it over and over again. Because this is what I do. I know exactly how to practice, how to train. I never struggle. I just run the formula. Here's another question. I need some help with transition from position 2 to 3. So let's just show you what position 2 and 3 is, right? So if you're kind of still wondering what these positions are. So position 2, and what he's talking about is transition here. So position 2 is at the top, and the only way to get to position 3 is through proper transition. But the reason you're struggling to get to 3 is because your 2 position isn't correct. And now there's no way I can move my lower body correctly in sequence. I can't move my lower body in sequence because I'm out of position. See what happened? Again, my formula would find that. So if you're struggling with that, you would learn in my training program, you would learn, oh, position 2 is different than I'm currently doing. That's where my problem is. But it's in the order. I don't want to fix your transition until I fix your positions in the backswing. And I'll tell you this, and this is a quote that I often use. If you can't do these positions in slow motion, there is no way you can do them in fast motion. So you must learn positions first. They're primary. Positions are primary to sequence. Positions come first, then you can sequence the positions, and then you can put them into motion and acceleration. Right? That's just common sense. By the way, once again, if you should be getting this link. Is it sent out yet? Yep. So in your email, you should have a link to the program, gravesgolf.com/enroll to get in September's program for single plane 30. By the way, we limit the program to 200 people per month. I just want to put that out there. And 50 of you tonight are going to get the training aid package. So that's for 50 of you. After the 50 goes out, we only have another 150 spots for the program.
Let's do the program slide again. Trish, go to the whole program slide, please. On it. And then we'll come back to questions.
Okay. So let's go through the program one more time, just because I want you to take advantage of tonight's offer, because some of this is going to go away before the program starts in September. You're getting the single plane 30 package, $19.97 value. You're getting the fast action bonuses for $1,067. I'm your coach, right? I'm an expensive coach. I charge $500 an hour to spend time with me. I'm going to give you my time throughout this program, throughout the months. We put a value on that at $2,500. Total value of $5,564 just for $300, and you're getting those training aids. Basically, I'm giving you the program, right? And you're getting everything you need to practice and train with perfectly, but only 50 of you are getting that. Have we got a total of how many people have taken the program so far?
10 tonight.
So got a few left. So we've had 10 people so far, and I'm going to keep answering some questions. So we're taking 50 people who are going to get the training aid deal tonight. Here's the next question. I just switched to single plane about 5 weeks ago. I'm struggling mainly with my driver. I can't seem to get significant distance. Okay, so let's read this question and think about my formula for a second, right? I just switched to single plane about 5 weeks ago. Are you doing it correctly? Ask yourself that question. I don't know, right? I haven't seen your swing. Are you practicing correctly? Can you put that back up there? Yeah, keep it right there. Okay? I'm struggling mainly with my driver. That's a speed club, right? Your driver is your speed club. If you can't do the positions in slow motion with a 8-iron or a 9-iron, you're certainly not going to do it with a driver, and it's just going to accentuate the problem. There's less loft, there's more side rotations on the golf ball, and you're losing distance, right? Because you're not going to get the speed if you haven't got the positions. Positions are what create the speed. I'll give you a quick example of that. I want you to look at my top of my backswing, what we call leverage. This is position 2. I'm going to go to position 2. Notice the angle that's being created. We call this a leverage angle, right? That's what we train you in single plane 30. We train you this leverage angle. Well, what that is, it's the hands in a position to when you move the body correctly, look at that club, it's lagging behind. It's got that lag behind where I can then accelerate it. So if I don't hit the club lagging behind, I cannot accelerate it, right? So I don't get acceleration if I'm out of position. And what people that lose speed is they don't hit this position. In position 2, they don't have the angles, they don't have the lag. And no matter what you do, you can swing as hard as you want, try as hard as you want, you cannot produce speed in the golf club. So you're missing a position. I'm telling you right now, through single plane 30, you'll identify that position like that. You'll call me and say, Todd, in day 4 of the program, when you talked about this, I figured out what I was doing wrong. That's what the program does. It deciphers where you're at, no matter where you're at. That's what this formula does. It's an amazing process for you to go through. You'll be calling me, just like the thousands of people that have been through the program, you're going to be calling me going, I cannot believe this program. I guarantee it. And here's the deal, and I'll do this for you. If you don't love the program, if you don't fall in love with this program in single plane 30, I will give you 100% of your money back. I will do that for you if you don't love the program. That's how much confidence I have that this program is right for you, and it's only $300. I mean, I've charged thousands of dollars for the similar programs like this. I'm only charging you $300. And I'll do one more thing for you. If you already have some of the training aids, that $150 gift card can be applied to other things in the store, right? So you can use that $150. So don't worry if you have some of these training aids already. I'll apply that $150 to other products in the store. All right, next question. I am trying to transition. I am 25 years old and having back pain. Got it? My problem when I try the single plane method is I tend to use my arms too much and come over the top or shank, right? So let's go through my formula, right? Here's my formula. Put that question back up there, please. So you can see it. He says he uses the arms too much, okay? So what I would be saying, okay, how is your address and grip? Let's say it's perfect, right? So I'm gonna do my checklist. Check your address and grip, okay? Check. Matter of fact, I did a school today. We had 7 students that I was going through their swings, and I ran through my checklist. The next thing, how's your position 1? Sounds like you're having problems with position 1 because you say you're using only your arms too much. Well, that's lacking body rotation. So we might see that in position 1. We see position 2. You're definitely out of position 2. So somewhere in these positions, I'm going to find, and you're going to find it in the program, you're going to find where your problem is, and you will stop coming over the top and shanking. But it's somewhere between address and position 1 and 2. Promise you that. Because when you're in position, you can then transition, get to impact, and hit the ball solid and straight. You just got to learn how to find those positions. That's what single plane 30 is designed for. Next question. At address, how much forward hip tilt into lead side is there before starting backswing? I also have a problem at times with crease of lead arm going sunny side up or rolling bicep inside, if that makes sense, Danny. So how much forward hip tilt into lead side is there before side? So look, what he's talking about is pelvis side bend. There's just a tiny bit of side bend at address and grip, just a little bit that gives my arm the ability to get in front of my body. You don't want to go too crazy on forward hip tilt. You just want to basically have a slight tilt of your hips, which gives you the tilt of your body to get the arm out in front like this. And by the way, we're matching the model here. So position, address position and grip is matching the single plane model. It's really easy to see as you match the model what address and grip. So that's where I would start, with just a little bit of hip tilt. And then what was the second part of this question? I have problems with the crease of my lead arm going sunny side up. See this crease in his arms going sunny side up? That's because he's not in flexion. You'll find that right here. Address and grip. Arm has to be in flexion. Side bend, right? Side bend. So look, this is going to do it. This solves all your problems. I promise you, there's not one question you can ask me tonight that this formula doesn't solve. How do you correctly measure the ball distance and how much it changes per club? Will the 45-degree bend change per club? I'm a ½ inch on the fitting and should be at plus 1/2 inches away. What's that? I'm a plus 1/2 on the fitting. So should the ball be 1/2 away? Not necessarily. So you said it sounds like you're properly fit for clubs. The way that I've always recommended people fit for clubs is to make sure if their clubs are fit for them and the club sits correctly on the ground, you'll be in the proper bend. See that? Your proper bend. But if this club doesn't fit you, if it's too long, too short, you're not going to be in the proper bend. So the proper bend fits the club for every club you're hitting, whether it's a wedge or a 6-iron, the lie angle of the club has to fit. That's how we engineer clubs for the single plane swing. So make sure your clubs are single plane fit. We have our single plane fit program. Happy to introduce you to that program when you're in single plane 30, or if not, we'd be happy to show you that. But we have to get you single plane fit, which is engineering the clubs to fit your single plane swing, and that's how I get proper distances with just greatly fitting clubs. Next question. Explain where the butt end of the club points with a wedge versus 6-iron. All the training is done with a 6-iron pointing. Where should it be position 2? This is a swing plane question. So he's asking where the butt of the club is pointing somewhere in the backswing. Let me grab a wedge. I'll grab I'll just grab a sand wedge. Watch this. This is another really common sense question. I think this is a really good question because I want you to see this is a 54-degree wedge. And you see it's shorter, and you see the lie angle of that club. So that is the plane of this golf club. And what I mean by that is this is the way this club is designed to be hit. It's not designed to be hit like this. It's not designed to be hit like this. This club is designed to be hit like this, right? There's the plane of this club. Here's a 6-iron. Okay, there's the plane of the 6-iron. You see how it's not quite as upright. So there's a 6-iron, flatter. There's a wedge, more upright, right? So there's a plane of a 6-iron. So the club length and the lie angle determine its plane. So does it not make sense that I'm making a golf swing that matches the club's design, right? So all I'm doing is saying this club is designed to be hit on this plane. I'm going to swing it on the plane it's designed. This club's designed on this plane. I'm going to swing it on the way it's designed. Now, you asked where the club is pointing. Well, look at this. This club's more upright. It's going to point on a steeper plane. See, that's the design of this club. It's going to point towards the design of the plane. That should match. That plane right there should match that plane. This club's flatter. That butt will point towards the ball on its plane like this. So not here, not there. Look where the butt's pointing relative to the plane. So it's all based on the club. So a 6-iron would look like this at the top. Look where that's pointing, right? Towards the ball. But my wedge, same thing, but it's on a more upright plane. See that? Because the club is shorter, more upright. So my point to that is your swing is never changing. It's the length of the club is changing. It's the same swing with every club. It's going to plane based on the club's length. Next question. Let's go one more time. Because I know some people are signing up for the Single Plane 30 program, and I know guys are taking advantage of the training aids. So if you guys want to do this, gravesgolf.com/enroll. Just throw the slide up there. I don't want to go through everything, but I'm involved with the program. Just so you know, I'm coaching you in the month of September. I love coaching this program because I like hopping on these Zoom calls with you every single week and doing what we're doing right now, answering questions. But see, what the cool thing about you going through the program at Single Plane 30 is it's relative to the training you're doing. We're not guessing. We're walking you through a progressive training formula, and every week I'm coaching you through it so you get it exactly perfect. This is why the programs get such great results, because you never get off track. You've never been in a training program like this, I promise you. You've never been progressively trained like this before perfectly. That's why the students are going crazy about it, because they're saying things to me like, Todd, I've never seen anything like this in the industry, because there's not. There's nothing like this in the industry. We're the only company that does this. Why? Because we have a model we teach, right? The single plane model, which I explained to you tonight. We have a perfect swing model, and we have positions that match the perfect model that help you get to impact, because it's the most biophysically perfect formula for hitting a golf ball. And then with our formula here, we have a perfect way to train it. I mean, I don't know how I can line it out any better than that for you to have you finally help you play better golf. I'm going to tell you right this, and here's a question I have for you for tonight. If you don't take up this program, let's say you decide I don't want to do this. I don't want to spend the $300. What are you going to do? And I'm only asking you as a coach. Are you going to go try to quick fix yourself, watch some more YouTube videos, try to figure it out yourself? See, there's your problem, trying to figure it out yourself. That's where I struggled. Somebody asked tonight, where did you struggle? Because I had to figure it out for myself. Now, Mo helped me, but Mo really didn't know what he did. I had to study Mo. He was so good at it, he didn't know why he was so good. I learned it from watching him, measuring him, studying him, understanding the biophysics of it, and see, I saw how he did it, and I just trained myself to match him. That's what you have to do. But what I don't want you to do is not take advantage of me helping you speed up the learning process. Because I don't want you to go, because here's what's going to happen. If you don't take advantage of Single Plane 30, let's say you don't do it in September, we'll do it again in October. You just lost a month. And then all of a sudden winter hits, right? And you don't get to, so why do we keep waiting so long? Take advantage of this offer tonight. Get inside the program. Let me coach you for a month, and I'm guarantee you that if you don't love it, I'll give you your money back. You can't lose. Next question. Todd, please explain the vertical drop, horizontal tug. So these are terms, vertical drop, horizontal tug, are terms Mo would use to describe the positions and sequence of his downswing. But they were only his terms. He learned these from a guy named Paul Berthley, who was a friend of Mo's and a well-known old-time instructor. When you start talking vertical drop, horizontal tug, they don't mean anything. Those terms are worthless until you understand the positions that you're able to create. And what Mo, if you ask Mo about a swing, he would use terms like this. When I go to the top and I stabilize, this is the braking system, I stabilize in the lead leg, and I rotate my body, my lead side is pulling the golf club, right? Because remember what I said earlier, if you learn how to stabilize here, you can then accelerate around that. Well, you can't do that without stability. So I have to teach you this. This is my problem with these type of terms, is people will hear something like Mo would horizontally tug with his lead side, which is true, but you can't do it without a stable lead leg. So people are trying to do it, but they're not correctly positioned with their lead leg. See what I'm talking about? Is that these are interesting terms, and if you understand them, they make sense, but you have to be in the correct positions to do them correctly. So put that question back up. I kind of forgot it. Oh, vertical drop. So you got vertical drop. Vertical drop is what you see the club doing when he's changing direction. See, the club drops this direction, right? It doesn't go over the top. Somebody asked a question about going over the top. Well, if you stabilize correctly with your braking system, which I teach you, and you horizontally pull, which is the lead side stable, and then pull, the club vertically drops. That's what's happening, right? But that's just a position that gets created from proper positioning and stability in your body. I have been doing the single plane swing for a couple of months. I still struggle with hitting a ball fat and thin with irons, special irons, not sure why. Again, I have no idea, right? A couple of months, I struggle with hitting the ball fat. I mean, not enough rotation, is your lower body, you know, a lot of things could be causing that. Watch this. How's your address and grip? There's your check 1. Are you good? How's your position 1? Position 2, position 3. It's somewhere in there. It's somewhere in here, right? You just got to run the process. You got to run my process and you'll find it. We'll find it in 3 seconds for you. Just got to run the process, right? So again, I'm not a quick fixer. I'm not a guesser. I'm a strategy guy. I want to strategically help you speed up your learning process and get this thing as fast as possible correctly. Because it's a life changer if you do it. It changed my life. When I met Mo and figured this out and finally got to where I could finally consistently hit a golf ball the way I wanted to hit it, golf became more fun. I enjoyed the game. I was going to quit the game at one point, but once I figured this stuff out, it just changed my life. And I want to help you do the same exact thing. Good question here. Do you keep the modules beyond the 30-day period? We let you have the modules available for 90 days. So you'll have the modules for 3 months to keep training those modules. You won't be in the coaching support for 3 months. You'll have 30 days of our support while you're in the program, and then you're kind of on your own for the next 60, but you'll have access to the modules, yes. I took the course in April. Have the training modules changed? That's a good question. Mike, we've added some elements to the program. Thanks to you. You give us feedback in the program. We've added a couple of videos. I'm not sure exactly in April, you know, Scott and some of the guys that work on the program could, but what we do is we say, hey, a guy asked a really good question that might make an important training module. So we'll put the training module in there, or we'll add a video to the training. So we have added a few things to the training. It's just getting better and better. So I don't know how many we added last month, but since April, we've probably added a little bit of trainings to the modules just to clear things up or answer some questions that people have asked in the Zoom calls. Next question here. And by the way, I think we've had, what is it, how many so far?
19.
19, okay, we're getting up there. 19 people taking advantage of the program tonight. So make sure if you want to get the training aid deal, it's going to end after tonight, and you want to get those training aids basically with the discounts, gravesgolf.com/enroll, and you should have that email in your inbox as well. But you can just go to the internet right now and type that in and get that deal. All right, next question here. At address, do you feel pressure on the inside of the trail leg or maybe a stretching feeling of the trail leg? So at address, no. I mean, at address, I like to see my legs relatively straight, and then obviously the side bend of the upper body, and then the arms in alignment. So there's my address position and grip. I just basically feel 50-50 or maybe a little more weight on my lead side. I don't feel stress in my legs. I just feel like I'm standing here pointing my arms at the golf ball, right? Now when I go into motion here, I feel the braking system against my trail leg. I think that's a critical part of positioning in the backswing. Getting to position 1, position 2 is working against the inside of that trail leg. So that's something you need to learn as you work on the single plane swing. Here's a good question. If there's time, I'd like to see Todd go through the swing positions with the driver as opposed to the 6-iron. Marvin, see, I got a driver over here? Maybe I'll just grab this driver.
This is the last one.
Okay, good. So I don't have a tee with me, but let's just, so a couple things. The alignment ball position trainer you see here on the ground, I'll move this back a little bit. This has driver ball position. I'll just show this to you. So those of you that join the program, this thing, you'll notice driver ball position, iron ball position, and zone. These are your primary ball positions for the driver and then your irons. And then you change your stance width for the club. And this is all science. There's reasons why you do this. So this teaches you exactly where to place the ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the ball up here in the driver ball position. But I want you to see what happens is you see my stance width now is widened. So what happened actually? And a driver is designed to be struck not at the bottom of the swing, but as the club moves slightly upward off the tee, right? So you need the ball more forward. But it's not just the ball being forward. When I widen my stance, my head goes further backwards. So it makes it very easy for me to strike the ball with the correct path of the golf club. So that's why you see my stance width, my ball position, my tilt, everything's the same except the ball position and my stance width. Now watch, I'll go to position 1, position 2 leverage, stable 3, stable, then position 3, then impact 4. Look at how my head's behind the ball at impact. Look at the alignment of my lead arm. There's impact. Extension 5. And then on plane, position 6. And then I would just stand up at the end. All that, I just applied everything here. Address and grip was perfect. Position 1 through 6. I sequenced to use the brakes. I could add some speed if I wanted to that. It's the same. You can train with the driver if you want. I just think it's easier to spend time with a 6-iron because it's not as long. But you could do that exact training with a 6-iron or with the driver. That was the last question? All right, so last chance, guys. It's in your email inbox, or you can type in gravesgolf.com/enroll if you want all the packages tonight, and I'll give you your money back if you don't love it, because I know you will. Tonight, $297, you get the single plane 30 package, you get the fast action bonuses, you get me as your coach throughout the month, you get those training aids that you're going to need to use, that you're going to want to use through the program. I'm giving those to you for $297. That's almost a $6,000 value for $300 to join me in September. Look, I can't wait to see you in September. I always look forward to teaching this class. There's nothing more fun for me to see everybody progressing and getting better. I love hearing the stories of you guys getting better in single plane 30 every single month. I get to talk to a lot of you, so I certainly enjoy that. Thanks for joining me tonight. If you have any questions, please email us. You can always send an email to scottar@gravesgolf.com. He can answer any questions if you're still on the fence about single plane 30. So just join us if you can, and I'll see you next month inside single plane 30.
What is happiness? Happiness is achievement. What's the father of achievement? Motivation. What's the mother? Encouragement. The fine golf swing is truly achievement. Man may lie, cheat, and steal for gain, but he'll never gain the golf swing. To gain the golf swing, man must work. It's work without toil. For those of us who know and love it, golf is truly happiness.